Okay. So I was worrying about which way we should choose to assess, to evaluate the performance.
Yeah, that's the important.
So you brought up that the interview is a good way. Okay, so we can do interview thing, of course. But and you said it's the reading interview means. If that means that the students already read the materials and they paired up and they do the interview with each other within a pair and based on the reading materials content.
How can we assess?
How can we assess?
Yeah, we couldn't give the grade.
Like there are 10 other students in our class, so there are 3 of us. And when they pair up, there are 5 pairs. So it's like the teacher just walking around and monitoring, observing. So it's observing the process or selects it. It's not like a presentation, so the student is presenting and the teacher can observe it.
And if some students couldn't answer the questions,
yeah, it would
we
be.
have no.
And, yeah, and also usually there are 5 pairs, so we have at least have to get 5 questions for each pair. And if we say, okay, you can choose whichever the question you want to answer, you want to be interviewed, then there could be a situation that every student choose the simple one or what they know. So there could be that there is no questions.
Yes, I think we can follow this. Here's the rubrics.
Yeah, I got it.
We can discuss one by one. Follow the rubrics.
We can use the chart, or we can use.
We can use the chart as well.
Chart is
in
done.
syllabus?
Yeah, no, it's here. It's done below. Yeah.
Yeah, we can follow this part. Discuss it one by one.
Okay, I can do writing of the report.
This version of the assessment proper subjective.
It's in the syllabus.
Not in syllabus,
it's in toolbox.
Okay.
The 521 mini assessment rubric. Okay, so interview. So
no, it's not the final decision. It's just a suggestion about interview. Actually, in chapter 7 or 8, there is the introduction about how to do performance-based interview, and there is a rubrics to tell you how you can assess the students based on the rubrics. Actually, it's most performance-based assessment is mainly depends on observation. It has been talked about in the reading.
Yeah.
But there are rubrics for how you can observe the student and how you can give a rating or assessment. And they have provided a sample of the rubrics. Actually, it's just one possibility. We can discuss all the possibilities and then narrow down to one.
How about the debates? Order debates?
We can first decide what we want to assess them. And then, based on this content, we can think about the
So
methods.
listening or speaking, choose one of the
I mean, what content we want to assess them, because we have to assessment.
You mean the content within the TESOL program?
Yeah, within TESOL program, which part we want to assess
So
them.
if it's okay, so the content first. But if it's for debate, we can deliberately choose a controversial
issue in
issue in TESOL, so they can debate.
Because in
Like
562 we hold their debates in our class.
Oh, because like last
based
year.
on what topic?
The reading materials last week.
I can give an example of controversial issues that when you teach pronunciation, which comes first, fluency or accuracy? Just something like this, right? So if you throw this question to them, and you can 10 people, and
How
5.
many people do we have altogether except 3?
10.
10.
10. It's even numbers, okay. So each team will have 5 people, it's okay, and they would like to just to share their opinion randomly, but to take turns of the team to debate. That's okay, but we should think about if it is so it's the speaking assessment. It's okay because speaking is like a productive process. It could be observed more because if you want to assess listening, you have to other
It's hard.
you
It's
have
hard.
other tools to suggest whether the student has already understand what he or she was listening. So speaking would be more observable. That's it. So
I suggest that we first look at what is performance-based assessment.
okay.
In case we go a wrong way.
Yeah.
Here in this week's reading, there is the definition or introduction about performance-based assessment. You also have one here?
Yeah. That's last week's. Yeah.
Performance assessment.
Yeah.
Let's look at it again, and then we will know what is performance-based assessment. Which page?
126.
As authentic as possible. How do you perceive this part? This is the definition.
Yeah, it means the task should be as authentic as possible. Because in the latter part it says the task-based assessment, it could be a subset of the performance-based. So the task could be as authentic as possible, as better. Yeah, so the task should be, or performance we want the students to present should be, they could use or could perform in a daily life or in a real world, right? So, but okay, you said interview and you said debate, these two are authentic. Because I do not know what. I looked up about the instruction strategy, like the number head, like the fishbowl, everything that is not very suitable for assessment activity. Actually, my understanding is that performance-based is usually like give an activity to the students, and through the observation, usually through observation or the product of the activity, to assess the student's performance.
Yeah, performance-based assessment includes two types, two parts. The first is evaluate the student performance. The second is evaluate student product. Product like you ask the student to do a presentation or write something. Performance like how they behave, how they perform
during the process.
Yeah, during the process. This is two parts.
So the problem is to choose it and kind of activity. But the activity should depend on content, not intertwined.
And also we need to design rubrics, do you think so? Do we need to assess them, or we just observe them, we don't need to do nothing?
It depends on what activities we want to use.
For example, if we use debates, do we need to write down a rubrics? Like something like this. Because last presentation their problem is they have no rubrics.
Yeah.
So the teacher asked them to add something.
It's English rubric, in a mini assessment rubric for us. It's include a rationale of the assessment.
What choice we have? It says we can ask them to do oral presentation, plays, debates, or a narration, persuasion, something like that. So I think maybe we have 3 choices. The first is presentation, second is debate, third is interview. This is easy way for us to do the assessment.
Yeah. The presentation has been done.
Yes, so we can do either debates or interview. Now let's talk about what content.
Yeah.
We can decide which methods we use.
Then we
based
can
on
decide
the-
if we can use the rubric.
Yes.
Um,
What content do we use? It has to be related to TESOL program, something we have learned.
if it's for interview, we can just extract the main learning theories we learned in the first term for the 510 Dr. Anya's.
Behavioral and cognitive.
Like behaviorism, cognitism, social cultural, what else? Yeah, the most three main point. That's list.
I think the problem of debates and interview is that you couldn't give a comprehensive rubric. Like maybe one student only talks about 5 sentences, and it's hard to build a rubric like it's accurate or complete.
I have rubrics in, just now I see, I need find it. It's a rubrics for, here.
How do you think of the first group manuals here?
Maybe it's the formal assessment. It's easy. If this formal is just give you a test.
We can discuss the rubrics a little bit later. We can decide first what's the content and the way to assess them, and then we can find relative rubrics.
So.
Here is an example. In chapter, this week's reading, in chapter 7, it talks about interview and debates. You know, role play and interview. And it talks how this should be carried out and what rubrics we can use, what problem we can consider. So actually when we are designing the rubrics, we can reference to this part. I think rubrics is an easy part because the main thing here is we need to decide the content and the way of assessment. First, I think the content should be something they are familiar. About the learning theories, it's easy, but I think it's a little far away, you know. It's what they have learned last time. Maybe some, like me, I can't remember the details. I just can remember the structure, the name or the major theory of the. But about details, I can say a lot. What about something we learned this term? Maybe in other class or in this class.
Yeah, assessment. What question can we ask for assessment? I think the most obvious one of assessment is the 5 principles.
Yeah, I like that part too, but I don't know if it's appropriate or not.
Because it's
for us to assess.
Yeah, because it's a little,
Because we have talked a lot about it. In last week.
In the last 2 or 3 weeks.
But it is a good choice. Or can we think something else we can assess? Do you think we can ask them to talk about the assessment critics they write?
But it will be general. Like, it will be like a peer review.
It's a peer review. It's something.
It's peer review.
We done in last week. It's a peer review. What about other class? We have learned other class. If we have decided the content, it's easy for us to find the assessment method.
I'm thinking how about is there a lot of kinds of listening assessment, intensive, extensive, and there are some pictures. Maybe we could get each of them a kind of the test, a kind of the assessment that asks them to define what it belongs to. Like this one is the information transfer, and we can ask them to tell the advantages or disadvantages of it, and which grade of students are suitable for this kind of test, or whether they have seen it before, whether they have used it before.
This is 4 types of.
This is selective listening. Selective listening consists 3, like listening, information transfer.
Yes,
and sentence repetition.
I mean, these 4 pictures represent. What are these 4 pictures represent?
This is information transfer assessment.
These are 4 types of information transfer, right? I just read the headlines, but didn't the details.
This test is to evaluate students' knowledge about at the bottom, on top, along this.
We can ask them to do this.
maybe we could choose other kind of assessments. Also is information transfer, but instead of this picture, and ask them to define.
We can first read this part to find whether it's appropriate or not. Because I didn't read this part. Which page?
169.
I think this picture is just listening, multiple choice about listening. You listen to a conversation or a description, and then you find which picture is about this. Which picture this conversation is describing.
Because there are a lot of kind of listening assessments mentioned in this chapter. We may pick up 5 and make
Oh
them
my God.
define. Yeah, not restricted
yes.
in this
Yes.
like paraphrase recognition, things
Yes.
like that.
Yes, we can choose one.
We could also choose maybe listening part because these 2 chapters are required readings.
So you will just take this as an example to them, and they can judge which part is it. So it's to categorize them.
Yeah, categorize and discuss weakness and strengths of the assessments, and to show the class like, have you ever used it before, or have you ever observed it?
Then the method we use is discussion and presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's discussion.
We can change the way.
Yeah, we can
Maybe-
change the way.
Yeah, I think the content is good.
I still want to go back to principles.
Principle.
They are very clear.
Yeah.
Because you see, just on page 25. It just said, for objectives, we just said. So, like, it's a reading, if it's a reading interview, which means we have already read this chapter. So they could, like, let it said here, to understand the 5 major principles and the subcategories, and to give examples of each kind of principle, and to analyze, and the third one, analyze the importance of each principle, or under what circumstances some kind of principle is much more important than others, or even some could be vacant there, kind of thing. It's like the teacher, professor already did this with us, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not in an interview way. It's just, okay, what do you think of the reliability? So we answer the question, what do you think about the reliability? But it's not pair work interview.
I know when I think about this mini assessment, the first thing I think of is this rubrics, or is these
5
principles.
Yeah.
But one thing it twice, I found is something our teacher have discussed a lot, and we have discussed a lot. I don't know whether it's proper. If we ask them to do it again, what the teacher will think, what the student will think.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Yeah, actually I like this part. Because they're most important thing and they are very clear. And they have a rubrics and they have objectives. We can borrow it directly.
Because we're too familiar with it.
Yeah.
So they lose interest.
How about this? We could like to combine a debate and interview, but in a small scale. Like there will be 5 pairs. So we give 5 little controversial issues or kind of thing like fluency versus accuracy, or standardized assessment versus or summative versus formative, right? So, and we design 5 of them, 5 pairs of content, and just attribute the 5 to 5 pairs, and at least 2, each pair would have a topic, a controversial topic, and just within a group, within a pair, they could have a one-on-one debate of the thing. Maybe they just start with, okay, they have started with, they are on the same page. Okay, so explain why.
How the interview part goes?
Yeah.
It's a debate.
So yeah, it's a debate. it's a separate.
Or we can ask them to do the interview first, and then ask them to do the debate.
That would be too much.
So we give 5 controversial issues.
Little things like fluency versus accuracy, standard versus not standard or formative, or like the absolute grading versus relatively grading, right? Kind of thing. So they could discuss in pairs. And
But how do we monitor their process? Like debate in the whole class, or they just discuss?
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's an exaggerated way that we ask them here to discuss one by one, just like, okay, the fluency versus accuracy pair goes up like in the center of the class. So you two can just discuss with each other, but we need to hear what you are discussing. It could be a little embarrassing for them.
I think
time consuming.
Yeah, and
the assessment part is actually performance-based assessment. Is just based on observation, so it's no problem if we just observe them. If only we have rubrics, we can assess how they are performing.
So the problem of last presentation,
if they have no rubrics, yeah. Actually, this performance is based on observation, so the assessment should be an observation. I think your idea is good, but I think we should focus on something real, we are real assessing them, not just collect some information to pretend we want to assess them. Because if you collect the information from the whole course, it means you are just show you are assessing. You are not real assess them. So I think it's better for us to focus on some real knowledge or content.
Do you like some reading materials?
Yeah. Last presentation, their problem is they are just collecting some words.
Yeah.
I think
And I
the
couldn't
words
find it.
Yeah, I think those words are not